Myth of Normal by Dr. Gabor Maté.
Oh, yes.
And he does a lot of work on trauma and how it affects our bodies, how it relates to addictions. But this one was like how it relates to our physical body. I don't know if
Okay.
you've ever read the book, How the Body Keeps the Score.
I actually have the book sitting right
Yes.
here. Sitting right here.
This is similar, but I thought it was a lot more easy to consume.
Yeah.
I had a hard time getting through Body Keeps the Score, but
I noticed that it's very yeah, it's kind of heavy. And I'm
uh-huh.
like I'm only like a chapter in and I'm like, whoa, I don't know if this is what I was thinking.
The Myth of Normal is bigger. I found it easier to read, but I also did do the audiobook part-time,
Okay, yeah.
which is fun because he his
He
son
reads
reads
it.
it.
Oh,
His son
okay.
reads it and he does voices. I love it.
Oh, that's
So like
so
when he's
nice.
talking in like a patient's voice, he'll do like a different
Oh,
voice.
okay, great. I love that.
I was like, that's kind of cheesy and I love it.
That's kind of cheesy. Well, those are some good options. I'll put those in the show notes because
Oh yeah, yeah.
we always need resources and always if you can't afford to buy it, always check your library because I live off of my library the library app. I'm always downloading books and reading them and then listening to books. I love
I was
listening
going
to
to say, yeah, and you
audiobooks.
can listen to books from the library too. That's
Yes.
huge.
I love it. I just love doing that. When they offer me when there's no audiobook, I get so sad. And I know people use other paid things, but it's like you can go to the library. Well, a lot of time if it's brand new, they're not going to have it easily available, but a lot of times they do have it available. So
Uh-huh.
it's very exciting and that's a great resource. So so where can everyone find you, Debbie, so that they if they want
Ooh,
to work
ooh,
with you?
you know what? I need to say one more
Well,
book because
sure.
it's
Go
really the
ahead.
book that kicked it all off. It was my daughter read it during 2020
Yeah.
and she recommended it to me, and it was Glennon Doyle's Untamed. And I
Oh,
remember
yes.
reading that book, and as I was reading, I'm like, oh my gosh, my daughter read this. This is so freaking amazing. Like, I love that she read this
And
book in her early
how old was she
20s.
when she was reading it?
20, well, she was 20. In 2020, she was 20. Yeah.
Wow. I read it in 2020. I love it. I love it.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those books I think you can reread. And then, of course, listening to her podcast and stuff. It's just so good because it really does.